salutations. We're back for Sinister Storage here at twitch.tv/SamScribble as well as youtube.com/SamScribble. And of course, this is all part of the Road Least Taken series. As I mentioned in the last video, this quest, I do tend to actually do the first handful of these quests reasonably often. But not like every life, right? Not every single life. Alright, so I like parking my hireling over there in that corner, and then I like to come over here. Oh, the quest is so loud. Hopefully it's not so loud on the video. It might be a little loud. Now, I personally found on top of this box is a pretty reasonable spot to stand. I don't have an auto attack. We're going to weed down the dangerous ones, and then we're going to take a second to adjust the audio levels. It just feels too loud to me. Like, no, I guess I'm coming over the top of it just slightly, but I think we're going to turn it down slightly for this quest anyway. Just a little bit more. Alright, that looks okay. So anyway, as I was saying, I like, specifically Missing as like a good quest to like a couple of minutes to get a few thousand experience points is pretty easy. But this quest is actually a quest. Generally, I really like the idea of being in a one-room quest in general, but this quest is actually relatively terrifying to me. Speaking of terrifying, it would be great if we actually turned on all of our goodies again. Oh, well, of course not. So, Charm and I have been talking about having little kids and why little kids are terrifying to me. As a person who has lived through the age of little kidness, I don't have to, like, my kid is 20 years old, I no longer have to worry about the little kidness anymore. Now I've got to worry about adult decisions. So for me, that's like the place that I happen to be in my life, and not back into little kid mode. And I like it. I feel like I have grown to that place. I would never, however, say that you shouldn't have kids. I think they're pretty great in general. Not necessarily in specific actions, but like my kid, 4 out of 10. No, that's not true. My son's pretty great. I suppose I'll take a second to plug the show I do with my son Remington. On Tuesdays and Thursday mornings, we play various games. Usually some sort of console-based game, something with a finite story. Like we did the Pokemon game recently. We've done playing through our favorite game, Shining Force 1 and 2 on the... what do we actually play it on? Did we play it on the emulator? We played it on the actual Sega. I don't remember. But, yeah, I do enjoy spending time with my kid. Puberty scares the heck out of everybody, my friend. That is where they think that they have logic, but they don't. That is where things become... Maybe that's the reason I'm just as terrified, is because I know what comes next. Again, I think had my wife and I been successful and was able to give Remington a sibling when he was much younger, we would still be going through the stuff right now. Like, let's see, what would, if theoretically in the perfect world we would have had a daughter, she would have been about 7 years younger than Remy, so she would just now be hitting 13. Whew. That is truly scary. A 13-year-old daughter. kind of like the wrong, all these Thrackhounds in this quest. Same kind of scary, I think. Your stepdaughter is almost 15. You haven't seen her in 2 years because of her mom. You're fighting to get her here, but it's freaking me out, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, that's rough. That was real rough. I know that, man, I'm just going to air all sorts of dirty laundry on this video. I apologize for that. But I didn't get to grow up with my mother around. I grew up with my father. And that was totally fine, except my stepmother was terrifying in a way that I hope nobody has to deal with. But it's tough. It's tough not, you know, I mentioned this a few weeks ago on the stream that my little brother and I have spent more time hanging out now thanks to Twitch than we got to during our childhood. So, like, it's definitely a thing that could happen, especially for, like, affect sibling relationships and not to mention your own relationship. My mother and my relationship has been strained my entire life because of that, not being able to spend very much time with her as a child. I said I couldn't even tell you half of the time my... that's not true. I think I know my brother's birthdays now. I couldn't have told you that what they were 2 years ago, probably. Parental alienation. No, she... I don't know. She, when my parents separated, my father got custody, and he got remarried, and basically he worked overnights, so he was, you know, when we did get to see each other, it was more like we had a job to do, like a weekend or something like that. Like we had to go cut firewood, or we were working on a truck, or doing some sort of maintenance type thing. The rest of the time, I didn't see my father because he would be either asleep or at work. So by default, that meant my stepmother was basically the boss of me, as it were, and she was not a very nice lady. Anytime we're not on the recording stream forever, I'll happily have a longer conversation about my evil stepmother. But that is certainly not a subject for a road most taken, least taken video. Which I suppose is a good way to remind everybody that we do stream these videos as part of our twitch.tv or our live streaming time. So if you'd like to join us live and be part of the conversation, please do that. Please feel free to join us here. Alright, so basically we've got this quest more or less cleaned up. The dangerous things are basically over. It comes down to whether or not we have champion, like, really scary guys as we run through this quest, which is not uncommon. Just imagine, like, the wrong Mind Flayer, right? The wrong Thrackhound, the wrong, well, it's mostly those two, but you get what I mean. Like, if you were to get a Thrackhound that's like a lightning, one of the ones that gives you a lightning dot, that could be really, really quite troublesome. You get knocked down, you lose half your life, 3/4 of your life, whatever it is. And then you're sitting there with the lightning dot counting down. It'd be real bad. Or, say you get a demon soul Mind Flayer. You get held and you get the dot on you. It could be really, really crazy. Alright, well, we got through it well enough, though. You will, too. So, hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, please hit the like, subscribe, follow buttons. And we'll be right back with another Road Most Taken. Chill. Ciao. Toodles.